Let's all have a Snoboy orange, too. No other fruit is more delicious. Nor does any other fruit have more uses than the fresh, tree-ripened orange. It can be served in 100 different ways. With the main course of any meal, the fresh Snoboy orange is unexcelled. And we are now aware of something more dramatic about this superb fruit. Today, pediatricians advise fresh orange juice for baby, often within 10 days after he says hello to the world. And from then on. It is the drink so good for everyone. No wonder today's children grow taller and huskier than youngsters of their age a generation ago. Never underestimate the word fresh when speaking of Snoboy oranges, for they are rushed to you with all their original tree-ripened flavor and nutritional values retained. Figuratively speaking, a Snoboy orange grove is no farther away than your favorite food store. You can have a fresh, tree-ripened Snoboy sun-kissed orange every day of the year. But half a century ago, most folks found oranges only in Christmas stockings. Actually, the orange story begins in the Old World, in ancient Asia, where the wild sweet orange thrived on the Malay Peninsula even in prehistoric times. From there it went to China, and the Chinese cultivated the sweet orange centuries before the fruit was known to Europeans. From China, the orange traveled to India, then westward to Arabia, and on to Palestine. The Crusaders helped speed this wonderful golden fruit on its journey through the Middle East. They procured seeds of the sweet orange growing in the groves of the Holy Land to smuggle into southern Europe and Italy, where today may still be found descendants of those ancient seedlings. From Italy, the orange traveled to Spain, then sailed thousands of miles with Columbus to the island of Haiti, where in 1493, the first orange trees were planted in the New World. From Haiti, the orange moved to Central America. To Florida, Ponce de Leon carried the orange in 1513 while on his search for the Fountain of Youth. And when the Padres moved into California, the land of sunshine, in 1769, the orange went with them. Visiting a mission in 1793, Captain George Vancouver recorded in his journal, golden orange of large size and extremely sweet flavor was among other fruits growing at this quaint monastery. From the missions came many of the seedling orange trees which early settlers planted on their homesteads. California's oldest living orange tree, located at Bidwell's Bar, was planted in 1856. But fruit from such seedlings does not compare with the improved Snoboy orange of today, such as these sweet, juice-filled Valencias, California's summer oranges, which originated in the Azores, were imported into England and finally introduced to California at Fullerton. The first Valencia orchard in California was planted here in 1880 by R.H. Gilman on the property of Placentia Fruit Company. The trees are still in flourishing condition. California's winter orange is the navel. As you know, it is extremely popular for fresh eating. The larger bud end of the fruit distinguishes it from the Valencia. And its introduction into California is an interesting story. The parent Washington navel orange tree is located at Riverside, one of several imported from Brazil in 1870. Dishwater, served to the thirsty roots by Mrs. Tibbets, helped them survive the dry seasons. And a monument has been dedicated to honor Mrs. Eliza Tibbets and to commend her good work in planting at Riverside in 1873 the first Washington navel orange trees in California. So, through the untiring efforts of hardy pioneers, California orange growing has developed into a mighty industry. And in the Golden State, the golden orange at last has found an ideal home after centuries of travel. Here in this wonderful state, the orange groves are among the major attractions. Near the Oregon border rises lofty Mount Shasta, surrounded by the great forests of Northern California. And the giant redwoods, in all their majesty and beauty, are not far to the south. To the west rolls the great Pacific, a panorama of ever-changing beauty. Sun-swept beaches provide glorious playgrounds for young and old. Breathtaking mountain scenery is but a few hours distant. The high Sierras provide a wonderland for thrilling winter sports, and man-made miracles reflect in super-modern freeways. In the world's longest overwater bridge spanning San Francisco Bay, in the immense petroleum industry of the Golden State, and in Hollywood lies the glamour capital of the world. Yet just to the east of Movieland is the beauty and mystery of the Mojave Desert, stretching behind the coastal mountains, its age-old warmth contributing to the ideal climate, so necessary to orange growing. Here in winter, snow-clad beauty is the backdrop to warm lowland groves. The major areas where Snoboy oranges grow are the Tulare District, Ventura District, Foothills District, and Orange County. In Central California, the Tulare District produces early navel oranges from November through February. Conversely, the Ventura District of Southern California provides mainly Valencia oranges from the months of June through November. Orange County, raising nearly 100% Valencias, also provides fruit from June through November. In the Foothills District, where navel oranges are the main crop, the producing months are January through May. This district also produces some Valencias. However, nature alone could never give us the picked-for-flavor Snoboy oranges we're accustomed to. It takes the knowledge and assistance of man. Let's drop out of the blue and visit a Snoboy orange grower and see just what he does. Our conducted tour is all arranged, and when it's over, we'll know exactly what is involved in the life cycle of the Snoboy orange, from seed to fruit. Oh, don't hold out your glass. This isn't a juicer. This machine is extracting seeds for planting from specially grown fruit. As many as 10 trees may develop from one seed. Planted in protected seed beds, they sprout and grow. Then, 1 year and quite a few inches later, the seedlings are transplanted to get their first breath of freedom in the open air with plenty of sunshine and running water. They are pampered constantly during their second year of growth until ready for budding. The budding operation starts with a T-slit cut through the bark of the seedling. The bud wood comes from mature mother trees of the best proven strains and varieties. Budding is a simple yet wonderful process, but it takes experience to do it successfully. The union is sealed with budding tape. During the next 2 months, nature will make the bud a permanent part of the seedling. Then the budding tape is removed. Next, the seedling is scored above the bud and lopped over. The lopped portion still lives and forces the growth of the budded section. Three to 4 months later, the lopped portion is removed. The cut is sealed with a special preparation. The young trees grow rapidly during the next 5 to 6 months. 3 years ago, this tree was a tiny seed. Now it gets its first haircut as part of the preparation for transplanting into a grove. Developing new groves in certain areas is often a costly process. But now modern, heavy equipment and engineering know-how reclaim land that a few years ago would have been utterly worthless. Grove layouts require accurate surveying. On uneven ground, contour planting aids in irrigation and prevents soil erosion. Even the planting operation is mechanized. Extreme care is exercised to prevent damage to the tree's root system. Two years after planting, these sturdy young trees begin to spread their leafy wings. When 4 years old, they emerge from their adolescence and produce a sprinkling of young snowboys. At the age of 5, the orange trees are considered to be in their first stages of actual production. Under normal conditions, they will follow a cycle of constant increase for the next 15 to 20 years or more. Few of nature's creations are more beautiful than a full-bearing orange grove. And no flower is lovelier than the exquisitely scented orange blossom, with its significance to wedded bliss. Citrus trees are unique. They bear ripe fruit ready for picking, while green fruit is developing for next season's crop. On rare occasions, they will have blossoms, green fruit, and ripe snowboys all at the same time, nature working overtime. But sometimes nature goes against us, sending winter temperature down to the danger point. Then orchard heaters must be fired up. Powerful wind machines keep the warm air circulating near the ground to prevent frost from settling in. Anticipating cold spells, growers keep the heaters filled and ready. These new type heaters are designed to obtain maximum heat from every drop of fuel oil. Scientific growing to produce snowboy quality requires periodic soil sampling throughout the groves. In the laboratory, soil samples are accurately weighed, then placed in glass containers. Now lime is added. Distilled water comes next, measured to exact quantities. The mixture is thoroughly agitated and then allowed to settle. The clarified liquid is boiled down, after which varying amounts of ammonia will be added. The resulting color determines the amount of nitrogen in the soil. Fertilizers are applied in various ways. Here, anhydrous ammonia is injected into the feeder root zone of the trees. Natural organic fertilizers are also used. This machine is spreading nitrogen crystals. The entire citrus industry has become highly mechanized. One of the newer pieces of equipment is this multi-bladed rotary pruning saw. Older tree foliage becomes so dense that it requires trimming to allow free passage for field trucks and other equipment. Trimming also lets the sunshine reach the snowboys on lower branches. A brush shredder grinds the tree prunings into tiny particles and returns them to the soil. Nothing is wasted. The soil's productive qualities are maintained through constant attention. Contrast these modern mechanized methods used in California today with the primitive cultivation techniques still used in the lands where oranges first came from and are still grown. In California, irrigation supplies the water which is absolutely essential for orange culture. In some areas, deep wells are drilled. But the main source of the water supply is in the high country, where it comes tumbling pell-mell down the mountainside. Nearing the lowlands, it flows quietly in crystal clear streams to man-made lakes, where millions of acre-feet of water are held for irrigation purposes behind huge dams to be released only as needed in growing areas. Emerging under tremendous pressure, a torrent of water supplies a great main canal, which winds its way for hundreds of miles to orange-growing districts. There, the water goes underground to a network of pipelines which supply individual groves. A tractor-drawn ditcher makes the furrows which carry water directly to the Snoboy orange trees. Standpipes apportion an allotted share to each furrow. Another popular method of water application is by sprinkler system. Sometimes liquid fertilizers are added to the irrigation water, feeding the trees as they drink. At times, Mother Nature can be just as troublesome as she is helpful. To counterbalance her blessings, she may toss in some annoying insect pests. Their appearance calls for a death-dealing boom sprayer treatment. Look at that action. Every twig and leaf is thoroughly drenched with spray. Now there's one little rascal, the mealybug, that requires special attention. Here's the treatment. It starts with potatoes, believe it or not. At insectaries, they are first placed in sprouting trays. In a few weeks, their sprouts become food for those mealybugs which are hatched in the insectary. Then those dangerous orange tree pests become food for the cryptolemus, also hatched in the insectary. On order from growers who have mealybug trouble, the cryptolemus are funneled into tubes and speeded to the groves, or release into foliage of affected trees. Goodbye, mealybugs. The cryptolemus country cousins, ladybugs, also have insects. Well, speaking of ladies, how about these beauties gathering Snoboy fruit for a ripeness test? California oranges are never shipped until ripe, and ripeness is determined by the sugar content in a simple laboratory checkup. The hydrometer is used as a part of the sugar determination process. There is one further enjoyable test of Snoboy orange ripeness.
What flavor, and it's fresh too.
So now the fruit has passed muster and is ready for picking. With a pair of clippers, the fruit is clipped from the stem flush with the button. In this way, the branches are protected from damage. Clipping also eliminates sharp stem projections which might injure fruit in picking bags or boxes. Incidentally, there's nothing hit or miss about picking Snoboy oranges. It requires considerable skill and experience to pick fast and carefully. When the picking bags are filled, the Snoboys are transferred to field boxes. Careful handling is especially important at this point, and the picker's work is supervised by a picking expert. No time is wasted in getting the field boxes onto the trucks for transportation to the packing house. Loads are roped down to prevent jostling during the trip. This is where the luscious, fresh, tree-ripened Snoboy oranges say goodbye to home and begin the first stage of their journey to you. At the packing plant, the fruit is generally placed in conditioning rooms in preparation for the processing steps to follow. What goes on behind the curtain? Temperature and humidity are scientifically controlled throughout the conditioning period. An ingenious mechanical dumper transfers the fruit to belts on its way to washers. Now for a thorough cleansing in a pleasant, warm bath, to be followed by a fresh rinse. A series of rollers remove most of the rinse water. Remaining moisture is completely eliminated by air, circulated by blowers, as the Snoboys travel slowly through the dryer en route to the waxer. Going up in the world now to an appointment with some very particular ladies, the graders. Believe me, Snoboy oranges have to be good to pass the examination they are given here. They may get by one grader, but before they reach the end of the line, they have no secrets. Talk about inspection, this is it. When they pass, they'll get a diploma. This famous stamp of approval. Now it's hurry, 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 on to the sizes for accurate measurement. Graduated openings between rollers and conveyor belts determine the exact size of each Snoboy and allow it to drop into its proper bin for packing. Again, it's speed and careful handling. Let's slow this packer down and see how it's done. It's not as simple as it looks. Each size requires a different pattern in packing. Now to get a lid. A single process mails the ends and metal straps the center. These handy take-home size Snoboy orange cartons are tremendously popular with families who love fresh oranges and fresh orange juice. They're simple to open, light in weight, easy to carry. After being carefully packed, conveyor belts carry Snoboy cartons to the sealer. Man, there are more Snoboy oranges here than you could eat in a lifetime. But what a pleasure it would be to try. And what a pleasure it will be to the hundreds of thousands of people who will enjoy this Snoboy picked for flavor fresh fruit. Wherever you live, these wonderful fresh Snoboy oranges are rushed to you every hour of the day, every day of the week. Truly, the California Snoboy orange groves are no farther away than your favorite food market. Oh boy, Who could possibly pass by anything so attractive without deciding to take home a carton of Snoboys for the family's enjoyment? Well, hello there. We remember you. We saw you at the start of this story. Better take some more Snoboys. For eating, fresh. For fresh juice. For appetizers. Cocktails. Salads. Of every description. With main courses for any meal. And endless delectable desserts. Man, oh man, what's more tempting than a handy bowl of fresh Snoboy oranges for eating anytime?
Oh boy, Snoboy, you just can't beat a fresh orange.
And that goes for fresh orange juice, too.